Monster Game Night is a dark comedy actual play podcast that contains personal and political horror. This show is not appropriate for children, and adults can find content warnings in our episode descriptions. Welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Bluegrass by Night, where our baleful storyteller sends our band of offbeat vampires on a dangerous road trip to destroy the wars protecting the fictional city of Jamestown. I am Josh, and I play Clear Visions, the rad Toreador.
I am Nick, and I play Jason, the clever Bon Joaquin.
This is Ben playing Tomaso, the adept Hikeda.
And this is Russell playing Gordon, the emissary of lies, La Sombra.
Hey, I'm Mike, your sculptural storyteller. Why doesn't our Coterie recap what happened last time on Monster Game Night?
Well, Gordon was busy playing Overwatch, while the rest of the boys decided to play some Street Fighter.
Hey, I'm the one that played Street Fighter. Get it right.
Exactly, I was playing a mall walking simulator. I got 10K steps on my Fitbite.
Anyway, I had a little sparring session with Bastion to prove that our coterie was worthy of dealing with whatever he was guarding. Actually, I kind of have some respect for someone around here now. It feels kind of nice.
And Jason uses clear visions to open the door.
You're welcome. And we unstaked a vampire.
To set the scene, tonight's session opens in the ruined Tremere Chantry, beneath the Oxford College. The Chantry was once a proud institute of learning that housed the ancient secrets of the Tremere warlocks. It's since been burned and destroyed. The Coterie is standing in a stone room lined with the remains of burned bookshelves. At the center of the room, there's a twisted metal cage suspended from the ceiling, like roots of a tree reaching down. It ends in wicked spikes, and at its center lies the now animated corpse of a vampire, kept in torpor but sustained by a droplet of blood falling from the ceiling. This vampire has a shaved head, skin that is nearly white, and his garments are tattered and worn. When Clear Visions pulled the stake from his chest, he sat up and began shrieking immediately. There's a wave of sickly green light emanating forth. Clear Visions is standing with a large, ornate stake in his hand, the size of a baseball bat.
Oh, Clear, shut that thing up.
God, make it stop.
First off, watch your tone. Second off, and I'll slap him. Hey.
Clear Visions reaches inside of the cage to slap him.
Yeah.
But for the listeners, Mike just got a nice smile on his face.
As I get with the
How
slap.
hard is he trying to do this?
I mean, I think he's picturing like
Clear vision hard.
Yeah, he's picturing like every movie where somebody screams and then they slap him and then the person has like that stunned look. So that's what he wants.
Clear Visions stretches his hand inside, begins the motion to slap, and still screaming, this Kindred's head twists to the side, locks eyes with Clear Visions, raises both of his hands and wraps them around his wrist. His mouth opens wide, and there's a new sound in the room. It sounds like the ripple of water, a bassy, sustained tone that echoes throughout the room like the ringing of a gong. You look around and you notice the walls don't shake, they ripple. Like watching a droplet of water falling onto the surface. It happens again, ripples ringing outward, and suddenly at the center of it, a face begins to form. The face is too tall to be human. You see a figure stepping forward now out of the wall, part of the stonework itself stretching out like elastic following behind him. You make out a hulking brute of a man. You see hanging locks of hair, kindly eyes, and the rest of him is a twisted, hulking mass of muscle. Muscular wings stretched behind him, shoulders that stretch impossibly broad. And those of you who saw him recognize this looks like Bastion. The figure reaches behind its back, and you hear the sound of metal on stone as it draws a massive greatsword. As the sword leaves its sheath, light, not the sickly pale green light that filled this room, but a bright yellow sunlight begins to emanate forth. The figure speaks to you, and it says,
"You are not known to me, intruder. Answer the question, or you will be destroyed. From where does the light shine?"
It pauses for a moment, the sword raised over its shoulder. The figure that now grips Clear Visions does not react. What do you wish to do?
Unhand me! And then I'll slap him with the other hand.
It touches him, and he just totally ignores it. Clear Visions feels like he's just slapped a stone wall.
Perfect. While my hand's there, I'm going to lightly caress his chin, looking deep into his eyes, and say, I said unhand me.
Ooh, okay, so he needs to make a dice roll, doesn't he?
While that's happening, Tomaso reaches into his jacket, grips his Desert Eagle, doesn't pull it out yet.
I'm going for this is probably composure, I assume, because it seems intense. And then I'm looking for intimidation.
Okay, so you're looking for composure, intimidation. Go ahead and give me that dice roll.
That'll be 3 successes.
3 successes. The figure looks at Clear Visions, hisses, and releases Clear Vision's hand. He draws back on himself, hunched over like an insect. His limbs twisted and crazed. He crawls backward away. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to walk up to the figure with the sword. I'm going to take and cut my hand so it looks like my hand contains something. And with the other hand over top of it, so it looks like I'm hiding something in my hands. I'm going to walk up to the gargoyle, and I'm going to say, it comes from here.
As soon as Gordon says, it comes from here, the gargoyle's arm begins to swing. The sword falls with a massive weight of this hulking figure behind it. I need you to give me a roll of dexterity plus athletics to evade this blow.
Would my dots and awareness help with this better than acrobatics?
So the description for awareness is perception, spot, spy, sense. How many dots do you have in awareness?
2.
2. How many dots do you have in athletics?
0.
Let it be known, Clear Visions is more of an athlete.
We all knew that.
I mean, he's been swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I picture it as this, that Gordon described the action differently then. Instead of him trying to dodge out of the way, what's he trying to do?
Gordon actually sees and calculates the angle at which he's like swinging the sword and attempts to just slightly move his body out of the way.
Okay. I will let you attempt to do that.
I do get hungrier, but I'm going to rouse the blood.
No. Oh boy.
So I can willpower as long as anything that's not hunger dice, right?
You can willpower if you have at least 1 success in the pool.
I want to get rid of those ones.
Yeah, I had a lot of those.
Okay, that's better. That's 3 successes.
Gordon sees this heavy blade begin to fall and quickly calculates the space it's going to occupy. He twists his body out of the way, not quite fast enough, his hands still outstretched before him. He watches in horror as the thumb of his left hand twists away and gets caught as the thumb is severed. Gordon is used to undeath by now. Pain is something that is a familiar companion, but this hurts. This burns. Gordon takes 1 point of superficial damage.
All right, at that, the Desert Eagle comes out. Tomaso's take name. He's not shooting yet.
Gordon's going to back away a little bit. So he's outside the sword range and said, that's not very nice.
That's not the answer.
Hey, Gordon, I don't think you're supposed to play games with this thing, all right? Back up a little bit more.
Yeah, what was the question?
I agree. What was the question?
Hey, Stone Man, repeat the question.
That's not the answer.
Is this multiple choice?
He wanted to know where the light comes from.
The light comes from the sun. I don't know.
Final answer. Lock it in.
That's not the answer. You see this hulking figure begin to stride forward. You see now his skin is a sickly mottled green, and you might expect the sound of his feet crunching along the floor like this massive beast, but you notice he's totally silent.
So it's not like making noise like it's tracking in water or anything. It's totally silent.
That's much closer to the answer. It looks like the stone of the floor rises up to meet his foot and fuses with it for a moment as he walks.
Reflection.
That's not the answer. The hulking form is marching across the room, sword raised high, a little vitae flying off the side of it after he severed Gordon's thumb. The four of you are backing away from him. He's emanating light outward from the sword, forming a lightened radius around him. You're shouting different desperate answers.
How much light is in this room?
A fair bit. The sword actually keeps getting brighter and more yellow. The temperature is increasing too.
Would you say the light is sunlight in nature?
I would, in fact, say that it's not quite sunlight in nature yet, but it will be soon.
Boys, I think we need to, take that sword away from him somehow. Jason, you're good with swords.
Yeah, if it's in my hand.
Repost him.
Yes.
No, repost him.
Let me just get right on that.
All right, hold on a second.
I hold up my sword. I'm feeling a little inadequate right
That's what she said.
Shit.
now.
All right, let me see if I can help you out a second. All right, and with that, I'm going to take a shot at his sword hand.
Okay, so that is your intention. You're engaging in ranged combat. We don't have any currently engaged in melee combat. What are Clear Visions and Jason doing?
I'm staying on the defensive.
Where did the other Kindred go?
He's still in the cage. He's probably no more than 4 feet away from you.
Yeah, how big? Can we open it?
You'd have to twist metal to open it.
I'm not close enough to do that right now.
And Clear Visions isn't strong enough to do it.
I don't know if getting in the cage is the best idea.
I'm just trying to dodge this thing. And I guess I want to study the Kindred that we woke up and get a better look at him.
Very good. So we're going to have you go last in the order because you're doing an other action. Ranged combat is first.
Doubt it's going to work, but I'm trying it.
I don't know what Gordon said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He hasn't said what he was going to do yet.
Okay, I didn't
Go
think so.
find your thumb.
Actually, I'm gonna hold off on that.
It's still good.
Just dust it off.
Lick it and stick it, Gordon.
No, the thing I was going to say is, are you seriously going to try the I've got a mouse trick on the... I've only ever seen that work on one dog ever.
I just wanted it to be like a surprise second grenade.
Right.
The sun comes from here.
If only.
I thought about saying it comes from here and letting a flashbang go off.
Yes.
or do a hand fart.
Gordon's gonna pull out his pistol and also attack.
Okay. You shooting at the hand too?
No, Gordon's actually gonna shoot at the gargoyle's eyes.
Okay.
And attempt to blind him.
All right. So our ranged combat. Gordon has quick draw, doesn't he?
As do I.
You both have quick draw. Okay, Gordon, you've had a thumb cut off, so I'm slowing you down.
That's fine.
Tomaso acts first.
All right.
Go ahead and give me your roll of composure plus firearms.
And I get 2 extra because of quick draw, right?
Yes.
I'm going to wait to see if this monster flinches when they fire at it. And if he does, I'm going to strike at the hand.
That's one of the more interesting rolls I've had because I crit, but I only had one other success outside of that crit. So that would be 5 successes.
Tomaso draws his Desert Eagle. How many times are you firing?
I'm only going to go once to see what happens.
Okay. You're firing at his hand. You have no trouble hitting the hand. You expect maybe a spark and flash as the bullet strikes stone. But instead you see a ripple, like putty, as the hand deforms a little bit. You do see a little bit of the figure's hand is deformed by this as the 50 caliber hollow point expands and crosses through the top of its hand wrapped around the sword. You do see a significant portion of the flesh is carried away, if you can even call it flesh, but whatever substance makes up this creature, some is gone. Tomaso notices slowly that it begins to fill in the cavity that was formed.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this may not work out how I intended.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and aim for the eyes. Just see what happens.
Okay.
Go for the eyes, boo. Go for the eyes.
Guys! Get some Minsk action up in here.
Why did I want you to be seeing how this works? Instead of aiming for the eyes, I'm going to shoot him right in his fucking taint.
A question to the listeners. Does a gargoyle have a taint? Tweet at us.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
Blast the bullet into the pussy.
Into the Gordon notices that the gargoyle's hand that's slowly reforming, it's kind of settled down to its side, and it does seem at least a little bit distracted by what Tomaso did to it. He's going to have an easier time with these shots because of what Tomaso has done.
That's 2 successes.
However, Gordon's thumb, covered in vitae that he's now managed to staunch the flow of, makes the grip of his handgun just slick enough that his aim falters for a moment and his round goes wide. There's 2 reports of gunfire. Mr. Driston?
I got nothing.
Duck. Goose.
I mean, can I do some kind of knowledge roll to figure out what this riddle is that he's referring to?
You absolutely may do so. I think that would be intelligence plus occult.
Rouse the blood. I do get hungrier. Oh, God. I'm getting hungry.
3 or 4.
4?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. That's 3 successes?
What was the oh god for, though? Are there any ones in there?
No.
Jason racks his brain for anything that he's come across that could answer this, and while he's holding his sword in front of him, he thinks and thinks of what he knows about gargoyles. Gargoyles are usually given very specific, very precise instructions. They're usually twisted forms of other kindred, often Gangrel or Nosferatu. And this one seems to be much the same. He seems to have some implacable desire to hear the passphrase to the question he's asking. He's operating almost like a computer program right now. Jason can answer his question. He'll stop immediately.
Tell me something I don't already know.
And 3 successes, that's what you get. Clear visions. Give me your roll. I believe you were wanting to examine the kindred who is trapped inside of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is going to be wits plus insight.
And I'm going to rouse the blood. I do not get hungry. That is 4 successes.
The first thing that stands out to clear visions is that this kindred is cowering even more from the light coming from the gargoyle's blade than anybody else in the room. He seems even more terrified of it than anybody else. He also sees that this kindred is very, very, very old, and the blood dripping into his mouth. He remembers what happened to Jason when he drank an unknown supply of blood. This kindred has probably been experiencing that for many, many decades now. Probably very strong and getting stronger as he awakens.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
He doesn't have language right now.
I'm gonna need you to, pick your jaw up off the floor, straighten that back up, and tell us the answer to this riddle. I know it's in there somewhere. That's the wrong answer.
Are we sure? Gargoyle is the answer.
Gargoyle takes a knee, plants its... No.
My liege.
Only because you said it in the wrong dialect.
You're right. It has to be the Canadian version.
You forgot the accent.
It needs more.
I forgot the umlaut at the end.
The gargoyle steps forward, raises his greatsword in 2 hands over his head, telegraphing blindingly obvious but implacable like an avalanche. He's intending to drop this blade down on Jason's head and split him in half.
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge.
Okay, so you are taking the dodge action, so your roll, when the time comes, which is not yet, is dexterity plus athletics, is dodge.
Once Tomaso sees the gargoyle raise up, I'm going to try to shoot the elbow and disrupt the swing.
Okay.
See if I can at least help Jason out a little bit here.
Gordon's gonna look through his jacket and see if he has a grenade,
Okay.
and then if he does, he intends to throw it and see if it sticks in the gargoyle and blows up.
Sticky grenade. Okay, and clear visions?
Clear Visions is going to bite himself on the wrist and then offer blood to the starving kindred.
Oh, no.
This is such a bad idea.
This is a horrible idea.
Fucking nice. Okay.
You see how excited he got? This is a really bad idea.
It's a terrible idea.
This is a great idea.
So there's the one about to get his
Fucked
head
up
taken off.
idea.
This is a brilliant idea. Have you seen who's made the decision?
Okay.
I love your confidence.
Normally, engaged melee combat would go first, but Tomaso's action will dictate some of the flow of events here. So we're going to have Tomaso go first.
I think that's really progressive.
It is.
Yeah.
That like Jason and the gargoyle are engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a love story to tell.
I mean, the gargoyle's 2 hands in. Jason, how many hands are you in?
It's Jason and the gargoyle.
Gargoyle. Yeah.
He's a gargoyle.
Is this a gargoyle or a gargoyle?
It's a
Gargoyle.
gargoyle.
It's Bastion.
He's a gargoyle.
Oh, true.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
All right, so same roll.
Yes.
You should totally rouse that blood. To get
You
something
should
like
be aware that you can fire multiple times. You do just suffer a penalty to those shots.
No, I'm only firing once.
The restraint, the class, the power.
That's what I do. And what I also do
Is miss?
is a 3.
So I'm going to wait to resolve that roll. Jason, gargoyle towering overhead, two-handed grip on his greatsword, plunging down towards you. Light radiating off of it, Jason can feel the burn on his skin of sunlight he hasn't felt in decades. What is your result?
7 successes to roll out of the way.
God damn.
Casual.
You didn't even need
Very
my help.
casual.
I'm going to add something to that.
I'm a dodge tank.
I'm a dodge tank. I love it.
Jason rolls out of the way. He waits until the last moment and lets the gargoyle bury its sword deep into the stone where it's frozen for a second. Tomaso's shot rips through both elbows. He's going to lose a turn as he tries to pull his sword back out and compose himself.
Trick shot Jones over here.
Swinging my sword down on his broken elbow.
Okay. You are going to lose 2 dice from that pool
I am.
Yep.
'Cause you're acting again.
because you acted.
What am I rolling again? Okay.
You're
Dice.
well,
Thank you.
you're rolling deep. You're trying to.
I'm trying to roll. To
You tell me
penetrate.
what you're trying to do.
You go fucking Adele. Roll deep.
Roll deep.
I thought the same thing.
So Jason is going to take his sword and he is going to go for just one elbow at one time. Then dexterity plus melee.
Doesn't your sword get some kind of bonuses too?
I do have a bonus with swords,
Yeah, many bonuses.
and I already roused the blood.
For dexterity based stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That was a Russell dice pool. I wish you guys could see.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I'm going to spend it out of the willpower.
That's a Russell move right there.
Okay, Russell.
That is 10 successes.
Oh, fuck me.
Jesus Christ.
How many of those were crits?
There's 1 crit.
Is it doesn't include a hunger die?
No, it does not.
That's unfortunate.
You lucky man.
As I rolled away out of the way of the first blow, I just swing my sword up as I come up and just clean through the elbow.
You watch as the clay that forms this gargoyle's left arm flops to the ground lifeless. His right arm still wrapped around the sword, though Tomaso's blown a hole through it. The other one hanging limp, ending in a stump. Clear visions.
Hello.
You bit into your wrist.
I take my fabulously sexy gnashers and I rip my wrist out, spraying vitae and offering it to this fine gentleman.
The very fine gentleman gives a hiss and pulls himself across the floor of the cage, takes Clear Visions by the elbow, and his fingers coil around Clear Vision's wrist like cold iron. He pulls the wrist close to his mouth and he begins to pull. Clear Visions feels the vitae leaving his body. He feels his life force being drained quickly and quickly. His figure is strong and powerful. Clear Visions can feel his arm pressing up against the steel that forms this cage, almost breaking the bone.
That tastes pretty good, doesn't it? That's all I got.
Okay.
Remember who loves you. Also, you're one step towards being blood bonded to me, buckaroo. Thank you.
There's a rule I really want to tell you right now, but I'm not going to tell you.
I know.
So preparation roll is resources plus.
Intelligence. Preparedness roll.
Prep check.
So that's 3 successes.
Good. Big money. Big money. No whammies.
Giving you one gives you exactly what you want right now.
So he gets a half grenade.
You have a grenade. There's no detonator.
Yeah.
You pull the pin, nothing happens.
It's a smoke grenade.
Hey,
I would actually be okay with that.
yeah, I would be too, actually.
I'd be fine with the flashbang even.
A single firecracker.
An M80.
Roman candle.
You do have a Molotov cocktail.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, no.
That's what you were making.
Just don't. Please don't. Come on.
I said that I was going to throw it. If I had something, I'm going to throw it at the gargoyle.
Is it? It's lit.
I was gonna say.
Shit's lit.
Yeah. I'm gonna light it. I'm gonna throw it.
Okay. I don't think that you should be allowed to make a resources roll and an attack on the same turn.
I mean, I'm willing to like
I have to agree.
take the 2 dice penalty. It's a second action.
I'm not. Please don't.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm perfectly.
Okay.
Like take the hit because then it's like he's taking 2
Yeah,
actions.
then
right?
I'm literally
penalty?
taking 2 actions. Like,
Okay.
You're fucking god.
He's elbow deep in his
2 dice
satchel.
penalty.
Do you guys have like this determination for me to roll this fire frenzy? Like,
I'm
fuck.
going to tell you right
God
now.
damn it.
You remember when we
Has that
discussed this
-2?
before? Vampire the Masquerade
Exactly.
has an explicitly defined role for throwing. That explicitly defined role is dexterity athletics.
yeah,
That you avoided last time.
Arouse the blood.
I already roused it for dexterity, so
Dexterity athletics at a 2 die penalty. How many dice are in this pool?
all hunger dice.
Jesus Christ. Take away 1 die because you're missing a thumb.
Oh, that's just cold.
Crit. Oh, I want to before the dice roll
Oh,
is read aloud, I'm going to give my coin to Gordon so that he gets an extra 4 dice on this.
5 successes.
Gordon draws back, his bloody thumb coating the surface of the Molotov. Zippo lighter clicked open in hand, lights the rag, watches the flame ignite, draws back, flings the Molotov, and watches as the gargoyle standing still, one arm severed, one elbow damaged, is attempting to repair itself. Gordon catches it across the shoulder and chest with the Molotov. The room lights up as the flames burst up. I need every single vampire in the room to make a frenzy check.
Remind us what a frenzy check is.
Frenzy check is your unspent willpower plus, I believe, 1/3 of your humanity rounded down. Don't forget, you can choose to ride the wave, but
The Crimson Wave.
yes, the Crimson Wave.
And what happens if you ride the wave?
It is your unspent willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity rounded down. To ride the wave, a vampire can choose to ride the wave, intentionally succumbing to the frenzy without making a test. This act follows the usual frenzy rules. The storyteller should let the player play out the frenzy themselves, such as choosing who they feed on, rather than having the storyteller take control of their character. If not riding the wave, a vampire in frenzy becomes the property of the storyteller for the duration. As Gordon reels back and hurls his Molotov and the fire detonates, suddenly each of our kindred is reminded of their own mortality. Fire is one of the few things that can cause final death, and it is innate to kindred to recoil from this and to find themselves stricken with fear. I need each of you to give me a frenzy roll. Gordon?
Good luck.
1 success.
Tomaso is choosing not to roll and riding the wave.
Choosing because he had 1 die.
Yes.
You can't fire me.
Yeah.
That's 2.
I also got 2.
I like to play an open hand. Sample terror frenzy triggers. Provocation. Bonfire. Difficulty 2. Inside a burning building. Difficulty 3. I think this is much closer to being in a burning building. And I also think that Jason is much closer to being burned because he's in melee combat right now.
Yep.
Fair.
Tomaso, you are riding the wave, so I'm going to give you the privilege of choosing to act first or to wait for me to act.
I'm going to act first.
Okay.
And what I choose to do is rip through those bars and go after the vampire.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty damn good.
Yep. Figured it was the only option I had.
Okay. Tomaso is the only one who is riding the wave, so I am effectively playing these characters now.
Sit back and relax, boys.
You heard it here. Mike's playing with himself.
Yeah.
Continue.
You're all my DM PCs, bitches. Danger causes terror frenzy. The beast must preserve itself against all threats. Known as Rot Shriek, a terror frenzy manifests when a threat like sunlight or open flames confront the vampire. Grave damage to the body of the vampire may also elicit this response, and while in terror frenzy, the vampire flees from the source of danger without regard to anyone or anything in their way. The frenzy ends when the vampire can no longer perceive any danger or when the scene ends. Now, luckily for you, to perceive no more danger is actually fairly simple.
Run out the door.
Leave the room. Okay.
Except that the gargoyle is going to follow you. He has one mission in mind, and he doesn't, friends. Tomaso,
Oh, Tomaso's gonna become blood bond.
you are going to pull yourself inside of this cage. How many dots do you have in strength plus athletics?
I've got 6 total.
That's not enough to make that a given.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to make you roll for this.
All right.
To get in.
Now, what happens to my hunger pool now that this has happened? Am I still just 2 or?
I think you're still just 2.
Okay.
I think that is your ride the wave.
Fair enough. That is 3 successes.
Are you willing to succeed at the cost?
Yes.
What do you think that cost should be?
I think since I'm so flipped out at the moment, I don't do a great job of actually bending the bars far enough to get through. And because I'm crawling through like that, I hurt myself on the bars.
So Tomaso manages to pull a gap in the bars that's wide enough for him to get his forearms and his head through. These bars are twisted, sharp metal, though, and so they scratch along his side. Tomaso takes another 3 points of superficial damage, but he gets his arms around the Kindred inside, and now he sees this Kindred, this elder vampire who had been staked and left in torpor. He has no willpower. He has no humanity. He has almost no mental faculties of all. He doesn't even have command of language. He's very, very easy prey for Tomaso. Now, we are making a diablerie roll.
Bad.
It's
know.
really bad.
I know
That's
it's bad.
really bad.
I know it's bad.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
I'm really not.
I just like how you like Winnie the Pooh or something there.
It's honey.
Having incapacitated and drained the target, the would-be diablerist can try to commit the final blasphemy, the true diablerie, incorporating the target's very nature and power into themselves. The diablerist must win a number of strength plus resolve checks at difficulty 3 equal to the victim's blood potency. The attacker can make one such roll per turn. If even one fails, the victim's animating spark dies unconsumed. In either case, the body of the victim swiftly decays in final death. Now, this Kindred does not have the means to defend himself, so you're rolling solely against yourself on this. However, it's a handful of checks that you are going to be making.
Fast can you run?
Do you have celerity?
Yeah.
All of them pretty quick.
Faster than me.
I have fleetness, so I can move pretty quick.
Yeah, you're the slowest out of any of us, I think.
Yep.
Jason activates celerity.
Got athletics.
We've actually had a scene very similar to this before when we were using the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a reason why one of our chronicle tenets is ashes make a poor foundation.
Yeah.
Jason, though, with his celerity activated, which he would do. You're at hunger 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Make a rouse check for activating fleetness.
Oh, I do not get hungrier. Thank
Oh.
God.
Damn. Okay. Jason activates fleetness. He has no trouble escaping. He disappears into the night and eventually comes to sometime later. He's placed himself in a wooded copse, seated up against a tree, buried himself partially beneath leaves, totally concealed.
Bye, guys.
Viet Cong Jason.
Sniper's nest.
Clear visions.
Hello.
I don't think you have fleetness.
No, No, I do not.
Do you have anything that would expedite your progress?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Gordon, do you
Yes.
have anything that would expedite your progress?
Well, if we want to count my shadow cloak to make me super stealthy, because
Yes, you're stealthy right now.
yeah,
Yes.
I, in all seriousness, like I think that'd be the only thing that would aid him in escaping.
Okay. So, Gordon and Clear Visions, the two of you flee from the burning hulk of a gargoyle. You dash and dash into the eternal hallway.
Oh.
You find yourselves running and running and running and running, a burning flame behind you gaining on you inexorably.
Hey, guess what, Claire? You're going to get another badge.
Hey!
I need Tomaso to give me his first check for Diablerie.
And you said that was strength result. And a common theme tonight, 3 successes.
Tomaso lunges down, sinking his fangs into the aged and withered skin of this ancient kindred. The blood he pulls forth feels rich and powerful as he begins to suck it into himself.
Now, also, this is a time where my clan Bane's going to come into play because I have harmful drinks only.
The kindred begins shrieking again, but he is essentially incapacitated, though his arms do begin to wrap around Tomaso, and he can feel pressure beginning to build.
Oh, he's about to blow.
Right in Tomaso's mouth.
Yeah, argue it. It's objectively true. Come on.
Yeah.
This is where things get weird.
Because they haven't gotten weird before now.
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
Completely normal.
So we have a hallway that has an illusion on it to make it infinite.
Mhm.
It takes blood sorcery to break that. You don't have a blood sorcerer right now.
If we walk far enough, we'll make it. That's what I did last time. It's just you and me, Gordon. We got this. Beat you there.
Let's race.
As we running man and play.
Tomaso, I need you to make your second check.
All right.
The arms of this kindred wrap around Tomaso. He can feel pressure building. He buries his head further.
Once again, 3 successes.
But Tomaso grits his teeth, digs in deeper, sucks harder, and succeeds on his second check.
Suck that old man dry.
But he knows he's not done yet. There's still more. He can feel the hunger within him rising and demanding everything.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Free son, that it.
Working on it.
I mean, he just got done feeding on Josh, so basically you're just you're drinking Clear Vision's blood through the.
You're
It's
drinking.
not a little more than
You're
that.
drinking recycled old man through recycled old man.
It's a human
It's like every
centipede.
funeral home and like old person's house, mothballs.
It's like when you turn on your like humidifier and there's water been sitting in there for a while and you're like,
It's a little dusty,
yeah,
a little moldy.
A little bit. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Got to keep rolling.
Gordon and Clear Visions, at some point, eventually, a very, very long time later, the gargoyle stops following you. It's reached the limits of its programming, and it's been burning for so long that it needs to go back and take care of itself. So the fire has faded. The source of your fear is gone, but you're still trapped in the hallway.
I knew we'd get there. It took a while.
How long is this hallway?
I'm telling you, it took forever.
I'm back at the top of the stairs. Hey, you guys still down there?
How fast is he?
He must be pretty damn fast.
You old men are taking long enough.
Tomaso, give me your third check.
All right, this time it's 4 successes.
Hell yeah.
Tomaso can feel the strength beginning to enter him. He's never felt so full. He's never felt so powerful, so vibrant. Tomaso notices that the body of the kindred he's diablerizing, it doesn't begin to go still. It doesn't settle down. It gets stronger. The arms wrapped around his back and ribs begin to tighten, and Tomaso hears his bones shifting and cracking and popping As the pressure builds, it's like he's being bound up in iron bands. He can feel the pressure building inside of his eyes and the blood vessels beginning to burst.
Okay.
On more cheerful things, Clear Visions, Jason, and Gordon. Jason, you return at some time. You find Clear Visions and Gordon as you have seen them before. Their noses pressed up against a door, walking forward.
It's like Dad playing a video game.
What are you guys doing? Stop wasting time here.
Wasting time? We've been running this entire time. Where have you been?
Straight into a wall.
I disagree. I see no wall.
And I'm gonna break the illusion.
Can you break it permanently this time?
I guess we'll find out, right?
Find out.
Spend another willpower. No, that's just 2 successes out of all those dice.
Ow.
Jason realizes that this hallway, the Tremere left it as a test. It was a test for their own students. It was every time. It was something that they needed to remember to do, otherwise they get stuck. He's not going to be able to get rid of it permanently. It can be temporarily dismissed, but at Jason's power, he can't erase this.
It's at least off enough for them to see that they're walking into a door, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Click.
Gordon immediately turns around and walks back towards gargoyle. I want to see what's left of this smoking heap.
I need Tomaso to make another diablerie check. As the pressure begins to build, the blood is growing hot in his mouth.
That's 2 successes.
Disappointing.
Diablerist needs to win a number of strength plus resolve tests, difficulty 3, equal to the victim's blood potency, which was 4. The Diablerist immediately loses 1 point of humanity. Should the contest fail, the Diablerist loses an additional point of humanity for each success by which they failed.
Join that 5 club.
Easy enough.
Black veins become visible in the Diablerist's aura. They persist for a year, or if the Diablerist's generation was higher than their praise, they persist for a number of years equal to the original difference in generation. So Tomaso probably doesn't know that he would be known as a Diablerist if anybody bothered to search his aura.
Okay.
Jason would figure it out. The body of the elder vampire that Tomaso diablerized falls limp in his hands. It stops struggling. The iron bands around his chest loosen. The kindred begins to decompose and decay. In moments, its body ages exactly as it should have, as the natural world reclaims it. Soon, Tomaso finds himself holding a mere skeleton, and in that moment, the gargoyle steps back into the room. His body charred. You can see the flesh is taking on an oddly congealed texture. He steps forward and he asks,
From where does the light shine?
You come closer to me, I'll show you where the light comes from. I know. Get over here.
steps forward, and it raises its sword again as Tomaso pulls his shoulders and head out from the cage, scratches along his side, vitae dripping down his face and suit. Tomaso is filthy and foul and looks barely human himself right now. What is the rest of the coterie doing?
So I guess the real question is, do we come back in as the gargoyle goes after Tomaso?
Yes. Moments later, yes.
Oh, fuck.
I yell, the light comes from within, bitch. And I'm going to,
And that's when you shoot your gun. Pow,
Yeah.
pow, pow, pow.
yeah, I'm going to shoot my gun at it.
The light comes from this muzzle flash.
But what if that's the right answer?
Jason looks around and he's disappointed to see all the husks of burned books.
You're going to frenzy again.
Once a library of great information and of great learning. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna look around the room to try to find an answer to this riddle.
Okay. What is Clear Visions doing?
He's just gonna dodge. He doesn't like this thing. He's just keeping an eye out.
Just keeping an eye out. Okay. Tomaso, the gargoyle, lurches in, lowering itself to pass through the door frame. It gazes at the skeleton in the cage, and it looks at you. And without a sound, it begins to glide across the floor. The wings on its back spread wide, and you see it begin to move faster. It plants its sword in front of itself, and you can see it's coming to cut you down for what you did.
None shall pass.
I need you to give me a roll of strength plus melee.
I have improvised weapons.
Okay.
So
Hit him with the chair.
that's the thing. I'm thinking like
Use the bones.
I'm thinking like my improvised weapon could be the jagged parts of the cage I pulled loose. And I kind of just I was thinking like I drop toe hold the thing into the cage and it gets stuck on like the bars if I succeed.
Okay. We'll go for it.
And I didn't get any hungrier and all that.
No, you're actually, you're at 0 hunger right now.
Well,
You killed someone.
nice. All right.
I also
Nine
felt like my
dice.
riddle would get answered very quickly.
9 dice, 0 hunger die.
It's a nice feeling, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it feels good.
Yeah.
How do I keep doing this? 3 successes.
Tomaso attempts to fling the gargoyle into the cage. It's not fast. It's not quick, but it's fast like a freight train.
Yeah.
It bears down on him faster than he could predict. It dodges out of the way of it. You both block each other's blows. Neither of you take any damage, though. But Gordon, you know that the gargoyle has taken some damage now. He's been occupied at least, so your gunfire will be a little more effective. What do you wish to do?
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
You're taking the chance to finally kill Tomaso. Gotcha.
4 successes.
Gordon has no trouble as this gargoyle has been preoccupied. Where are you placing these rounds?
So he only has 1 arm right now, right?
He's started to regrow it, but yeah, he only has one real arm.
I'm gonna try and take out the other arm, and where Tomaso shot through, I'm gonna try and like shoot on either side of it. Yeah, and keep just chipping away at it.
His other elbow now looks like it's hanging by a thread. If he was fully mortal, it'd be hanging by sinew and just flesh holding together right now. Clear visions. You said you're just dodging.
Yeah, I'm just doing an all-out defense.
Okay. Jason, what are you doing?
Looking for an answer.
All right. Give me a roll of intelligence plus either, what do we think it should be, occult or investigation?
If he's looking around, I think it's investigation.
Damn.
Good choice.
Ooh, 4.
I can only fight this thing for so long.
So as I look around the room, I notice all those symbols, and it's a reading, and I was like, where does this light they're talking about? And here, it's the mind. The light's coming from enlightenment. It's enlightenment.
Immediately, the gargoyle drops to its knees, arms falling to its side. You see it collapse into a puddle down into the floor, dropping down through, spreading across it like water spilled out. The floor ripples for a second, and it's gone.
That was disgusting.
Is everyone okay in there?
No.
How's your thumb?
That's what you're worried about right now?
You see Gordon pick his thumb up off the ground.
Shake it off.
Is it nice and charred?
Yeah, he takes out of his pocket a little bottle of like liquid, and he sprays it on there, and then he just kind of goes,
It just glues it.
and yeah. And his thumb just goes like this. He does it
45-degree angle
Yeah.
the wrong way.
a 45-degree angle, wrong way. It just says, "See, perfect as new."
2 thumbs up. I mean, 1 up and 1 to the right.
I'm all thumbs.
As the Coterie returns to the tour bus and exits the 1968 Chevy Nova, the clown car they've all piled into, there's a click as the doors open. We can hear the tour bus idling in the background. We can hear the Chevy Nova with its muscle car engine idling. And we suddenly see from the shadows a black shrouded figure. We see a pale face step forward. The shrouded form of a nun, face wrapped tight, steps forward, and without a word, she hands Russell a brown manila
Who's
envelope.
Russell?
Yeah. Who's Russell?
Did that,
Who the fuck is Russell?
did that just actually happen? Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Without a word, she hands Gordon a brown manila envelope, clasps her hands together, turns around, and disappears into the night.
Gordon also clasps his hand together and lowers his head.
That was absolutely vile. Get out of here, you hell beast.
No, what the hell was that?
Who is that?
A contact. And Gordon opens up.
Casual.
What's that?
Casual.
Yeah, casual. She was just a casual contact. No big deal.
She's not coming back, right?
I thought
Maybe.
nuns weren't supposed to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're called nuns because there's supposed to be none of them.
Fuck's sake.
Well, there was one. Deal with
And
life.
now there's none.
I was waiting for him to say that.
You can open the thing or not.
Yeah, so Gordon
You don't
opens
have
it up,
to. It's fine.
pulls out a sheet of paper, and starts reading it. Fuck me. Okay. I need to go take a side trip. Any questions so far?
Wait,
Yeah.
just like that?
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
You don't all the stuff we've been
I-
dealing with, now you're just gonna go traipsing off?
Yeah, I
Honestly-
don't really have time to explain it.
Oh, how convenient.
You guys
don't-
trust me on this.
You're gonna be all right on your own.
Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just information gathering. but-
I don't think you should be going on your own. You kind of have a friend that you just introduced.
well, he's going to go with me.
Oh, so you're not going on your own.
I mean, I don't really think of him as a person.
They're not.
He's a thing. He is a tool now.
Monster Game Night does not believe in slavery.
But he is a tool.
He's a former cop. It's okay.
Yeah, that.
I mean,
Hey, Gordon. Hey, Gordon. You gonna take good care of your pet?
I'm going to treat him like a pig should be treated.
All right, I'm in favor of that.
So, I will meet up with you guys in Cromdale.
How the hell are we supposed to find you? You don't
I
exactly
think-
have a phone to call.
I think it'll be easier for me to find you.
Okay, I don't like that, but fine.
That's,
Okay.
Yeah,
that-
probably not wrong.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally true.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't exactly travel in, secret.
Tell me about it.
So
We need a big fake nose to put on the tour bus.
I would
That'll
love
look
to see
so
a big
hot.
fake. Get those big glasses too with the eyebrows.
Oh,
connected to
yeah.
the nose. Yeah,
And they'll never know it's me because we put a big fake black mustache on there.
that's right. A big fake porn mustache.
I would never.
So with that, Gordon turns around, hops back in the car with Officer Hagen, and we go to the nearest church where I have a contact.
I'm so happy I'm not.
Gordon drives off through the night. He finds himself at a small chapel that doesn't even host a priest of its own. It's an order of nuns that keep a small chapel. He finds that his name and his title grant him access to a cell beneath it that is light sealed and safe. I presume before he goes to sleep tonight, he takes a moment to empower his blood bond over Officer Hagen just a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
TMI.
Ooh.
Ooh, I gotta feed the pig somehow.
Okay, if you're gonna keep doing that, I'm gonna keep feeding you. That thing. This is great.
What?
He's also gonna read over this dossier a little bit more, and he's going to tell Hagen, while I am sleeping, I want you to go to the local police station, log into the state database from there, and find out everything you can about Lucas Thorne, and bring it to me.
Yes, sir.
And then with that, he's going to go to sleep.
So are we
Hagen.
going to
No.
clue the listeners in on what's in the dossier?
Listeners, if you want to know what's in the dossier,
Tweet
clap
at
your
us.
hands.
I hear all three of you.
Wow.
No, if they want, I will post the dossier to our website, and they can read it on there if they want to.
Ooh.
And that website is?
MonsterGameNight.com, of course. Website's MonsterGameNight.com or MGMPod.com.
Or ClearVision, TV's most famous medium.com. Wink to the camera. That's
Oh,
The day passes. Officer Hagen departs while the Coterie travels to Newport. Hey everyone, we're Monster Game Night. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Mike, your storyteller, and you have also been listening to
I'm Russell playing Gordon.
Ben playing Tomaso.
Nick playing Jason.
and Josh playing Clear Visions. Tune in next session. We release an episode every other Monday, and you can also follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher. We'd love to hear from you on social media too. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit at Monster Game Night. Also, please give us a rating, write a review, and tell your friends and family about the show if you enjoyed it. Word of mouth is the best way for a small independent show like ours to grow. I hope that you can come to our next
Monster Game Night.
Hey everyone, Spotify just rolled out the ability to rate podcasts. So if you listen to us on Spotify, which statistically you probably do, go ahead and hit that 5-star button.
We'd love you so much.
Smash that subscribe button, gamers. Woo!